So we are a month away from Dragon Quest III HD-2D Remake. And I am just beyond hype. Every little video they keep putting out, every post they keep putting out, every short. Oh my gosh, guys. I am so excited. And I just wanted to talk about how, honestly, after continuously seeing what this game looks like and the villages and towns and gameplay and details and the characters and the everything, I just a little part of me keeps saying more and more and more and more and more that this might end up being my favorite Dragon Quest game of all time. Now, obviously, I have to play it first before I can truly make that conclusion, but there is so many reasons as to why I think this currently. Make sure to like and subscribe to my channel, guys, as I continue to bring out videos, and I'm going to try and be more consistent than I have been the last month and bring out at least a video once a week, and then also try to live stream once a week again like I used to. I'm heavily focused on working on my card game and then my board game, my RPG board game, so I've got a lot going on, and so that's why I've been very absent. But we are getting back into the videos, we're getting back into the live stream, so definitely like and subscribe, okay? Join as a member. Shout out to freaking PokeKid01 for being part of the Ultra Papito tier. Thank you so much. Consider becoming a member today and getting some fun emotes and emojis for the live streams. But anyways, let's get back to the actual topic. Why do I think that Dragon Quest III HD-2D Remake might actually become my favorite Dragon Quest game? So, first things first, my current favorite game is Dragon Quest XI's. I have replayed that game twice, and I am currently almost done with actually beating all of the quests and the final bosses and even the secret final bosses. I still got a couple more to do, but I have put, between both playthroughs, I have put over 300 hours into this game, and I absolutely love it. It's absolutely incredible, and it's my favorite game. And then for the rest of the list, most of at least the top 5 consists of Dragon Quest 8, Dragon Quest 9, Dragon Quest 7, I know that might be surprising, and Dragon Quest 6, but my number 1 has been Dragon Quest 11. And as some of you might know, my least favorite game in the series is Dragon Quest 3. Now, I know that is like a freaking sin. Like a freaking, how dare I say such a thing, right? I know my opinion is incredibly controversial, but, you know, I've played the mobile version of Dragon Quest 3, beat it, loved it. Played the Game Boy Color version, beat it, loved it. I've attempted the Nintendo Switch version, not my favorite especially. But one of the things that my common complaints with the game is that it feels too big. Somebody like me that has very limited time to play, when I go back to playing the game, it's happened to me before, I just feel completely lost. Because you can get the orbs throughout the story or the world, basically in any order. And I remember after not playing for a little while, because I just couldn't, I was like lost. I was like, okay, which orbs do I have? Where do I have to get them? I forgot, you know? And it feels like such a big game that it just like, obviously just talking to the people, you can figure it out. But like, at the end of the day, I just like, dude, I just want to progress the story. So I just look it up, and it just kind of felt like although I wanted to actually talk to all the villagers and like figure it out myself, I was like, I don't have that time. I might as well just look it up. And I just kind of felt like it took a little bit from, you know, the experience, right? But at the end of the day, also with like combat, you know, especially like after you beat Zoma and you're on your way to the Divine Dragon or whatever, you know, depending on the version you play, it has a different name. But you know, it just became kind of unfair with like monsters just being ridiculously like easy to kill and wipe out your whole party. Just little things that just kind of dumbed down the experience for me. And then on top of that, the vocation system, I understand it was the first, like one of the first of its kind and the first in Dragon Quest's series of games. But I wasn't a huge fan of the vocation system. I'm still not 100%. And then, you know, the whole fact of like the characters for the vocations are all preset and they look like specific, you know, the mage, the male mage is an old guy, you know, and then the male merchant is like the fat dude with a mustache, which was cool, you know. But like when I play games where I'm creating my own party, if I can't also customize my party, I kind of like don't feel connected to them, especially if they're not characters that actually have dialogue, basically. I mean, the merchant technically does if you know, to get the yellow orb, blah, blah, blah. I get that. But like, I need to, if I have a game where I'm creating my own party, I need to make, you know, customize them, or else I don't feel like they're like my party, you know. I just feel like they're random people. But anyways, basically there's a lot of things like that it made me put Dragon Quest 3 in the bottom of the list. And again, I've said this before, but it doesn't mean that I hate the game. I do not hate the game. I just like all the other games a little bit more than Dragon Quest 3. But where I'm going with this is, I think this is all about to change. Why? Because Dragon Quest 3 Remake is looking I mean, technically this is like the 4th time it gets remade, but this remake, the HD-2D Remake, absolutely looks absolutely stunning. Just, oh my gosh, the effects, the locations, the graphics, oh my gosh, the shadows, the shading, the sprites, the colors, everything just looks so gorgeous. The music makes it sound even more beautiful. The gameplay looks so incredible and engaging. The spells, the combat. I love the fact that you can actually customize your characters. Like, actually customize them. Dude, there's a freaking picture of a freaking sage with a beard. Dude, I need a beard on my character. I need one. Now, is the hero going to be customizable? Probably not, which is fine. But I can totally make my own character not be the hero, you know? It's that simple. And then I will be 100% happy with that. But yeah, I'm loving all of the additional features, the additional details, the absolutely incredible upgrades to the combat, to the graphics, to everything. Like, this game to me seems like it's going to be way bigger than the original, but and maybe it's still going to be a little overwhelming. I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna be able to kind of get over that hump, and I'm not gonna like care too much about that like I did like my first and second playthrough. But all of the other things that I'm looking and super hyped about for this game, I think are going to heavily outweigh all of the negative things I've ever felt for the game. And maybe even the game will be more polished in terms of balance, you know? Maybe that's going to help in terms of my, you know, complaints with some of the balancing issues, especially in like the later parts of the game. So I am absolutely ecstatic of this game, and the biggest reasons, like, I've basically just mentioned them, and I think it's going to be my favorite because I love a game where you can customize your characters. Like Dragon Quest IX would probably be my favorite game if it was remade. If it was remade with Dragon Quest XI graphics, it would probably be my favorite game of all time. But Dragon Quest XI and 8 were so damn good that it just, although I prefer creating my own characters and all that, like those games' characters, world, graphics, story were just so damn good that it just, was a little bit better than my preference type of RPG style game or Dragon Quest game. So at the end of the day, the reason again why I think this game is going to be my favorite is for everything I mentioned before. It's more customizable, the graphics look incredible, the gameplay looks like so much fun and incredibly updated. I have a huge soft spot for sprites. Like in terms of Pokemon, I 100% prefer like the sprite-based games instead of the newer 3D graphics. Now, that also is kind of unfair to compare because the 3D sprite games are not as good, like graphically, like at all, compared to the 2D sprite ones. Like, it's obvious the team just didn't have enough time to polish the 3D sprites or the world and all that for the more of the 3D games. I really love the 3DS versions of the Pokemon games. I love those, but I still prefer the 2.5D sprites or whatever. And this game is doing that. It has that, and it looks absolutely incredible, bro. So anyways, that is my reasoning as to why I believe this game might steal the #1 spot. I really do believe that, because again, if Dragon Quest IX was remade, and technically that game, if it was remade in Dragon Quest XI graphics, it wouldn't be sprite based anymore. I understand that, but like, I love vocations so much, and I love, grinding for vocations and that sort of progress in Dragon Quest games so much. That's a big reason why Dragon Quest 6 and Dragon Quest 7 are my top 5 favorite Dragon Quest games, which is like unheard of, basically. But yeah, so I really hope, and I, like I said, I don't know. It's actually, we have to wait and see, because maybe like the vocation system is still not that good compared to Dragon Quest 6 and 7 and 9, but I hope they've improved it. And I'm not knocking DQ3 necessarily because the vocation system isn't as good as the rest of the games. It's understandable as to why, because it came out like 30 years ago, that vocation system. So obviously with time they were able to improve it, but I just hope that they also improved that. Like, I don't know 100% if they did or not, but if they did, again, this is easily going to take the #1 spot as my favorite Dragon Quest game of all time. So we will wait and see. But that's basically it for my video. What are your guys' thoughts? Do you severely disagree with my ideas or my thoughts, or just feel like I'm just like, what? How can I call myself a DQ fan if I'm saying these crazy things? Like, how do you guys feel about DQ3? Are you excited as I am? Are you happy? Are you sad? Let's talk about it, okay? Like and subscribe. We'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.